I'm excited to introduce to everybody Stephanie Klein. She is going to be the new Threeschool teacher on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the English section. And you may recognize Stephanie. She currently works with Mrs. D in the Threeschool classrooms on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's what she was doing before all this happened. But we're super excited for Stephanie to step into the Tuesday, Thursday role. And so, Stephanie, welcome to the new role. Obviously, you're already a part of ZCS, but we'd love to learn a little bit more about you and hear about why you're excited for this new role in the fall.
Thank you, Peter. Yeah, I'm super excited. It's really nice to be able to step into my own class, and I had like the best mentor teacher ever with working with Chris. I used to teach. I went to Calvin College, and I taught elementary, kindergarten, all the way up to 4th grade. I taught for 7 years. And then I got married and we moved out to Colorado. And during that time, we raised our kids, and I have 2 kids. We have 2 kids. They go to, one is finishing up preschool at Zealand Christian Preschool, and my other oldest is finishing up kindergarten at Zealand Christian as well. And I thought it would be a really great time to start kind of getting my foot wet again in the world of education now that my kids are, getting older. And so the assistant position has just been great. It worked really well with my schedule. And like I said, working with Chris has been a huge blessing. She's taught me so much, and I just hope to be the teacher that she is. She just loves teaching. And I hope that I can exemplify that with my own students and the future families that I get to meet and interact with. And I'm super excited about meeting each kid and just kind of figuring out how to make classroom community, how to build that together, especially after this weird time that we're in of like lacking social interaction and stuff. And I'm excited to be a part of Zealand Christian, and my kids go there, and it's a special place, and I'm just excited to grow God's kingdom more. So.
Would you mind sharing with us a little bit of your faith journey?
My faith journey. Yeah, sure. I don't have like a real empowering or inspiring story. I was adopted when I was a baby from South Korea, and I was adopted into a wonderful, wonderful Dutch family. And so I grew up in the church, and I think I was raised in a really wonderful home. And I would say I've always loved Jesus for sure, but it was in college and late college that I owned my own faith. And, for me, it was, wanting to take that step and wanting to go to church myself, not because my parents told me. And then, of course, just as you get older and now having kids of my own, it's huge. And you realize how important it is, and how you just want your kids to love Jesus and have a heart for him. And so I think it's a pretty conventional right now, like kind of boring story, but in each phase of life, I just feel like, I don't know, the journey just continues to grow, and it's humbling. And sometimes it's like I'm on fire, and then there's times where it's like I get on cruise control, and then I get humbled again, and you need to kind of, navigate your way with Christ again. So it's just a continuous journey of growth and learning. So.
Who are some of the people along that journey, or just your life journey, who have been some of the biggest influences on you?
For sure, my parents. My mom and dad are wonderful people, and they have always they've challenged me to do my best, and they've challenged me to love Jesus. And I've known they've always been there for me. So I would say just my parents for yeah, they're just wonderful people, and I hope to be like them. I would say also my husband is a huge influence in my life, and I didn't have the like I said, I went to Calvin College, but I didn't get married, right after my senior year. And so I didn't meet my husband till probably I was like 28, and for like the Dutch CRC, that's like pretty old
That's
to
a long
like
time.
by that time. So for me it was, yeah, I would say my husband has a huge influence in my life, and I just my like respect and love for him is just tremendous. As yeah, he challenges me. He's very smart. He's very, very smart. So he's very intellectual, and he likes to ask the why. And so yeah, he's a good guy.
What are some of your hobbies or the things that you and your husband like to do together? Like, what do you do for fun?
We love to hike. This has been really cool for us because we've been actually able to explore, and our kids are finally at an age where we can go out for longer than a half an hour, and we can actually like spend time together. So that's cool. Hiking, love to cook, love to cook, love to eat too much. I love to play the piano, and I love to sing. And that's actually been kind of fun with having little kids, just seeing them, I would say, kind of love music too and have an appreciation. I mean, I don't know if there would be musicians or anything like that, but I'm definitely trying to kind of steer them in that direction of loving music and loving singing and using that to glorify God. So yeah, I guess cooking, hiking, and music, my big hobbies.
So what are you cooking during quarantine, and what's another dish you cook during a non-quarantine?
Ooh. Well, unfortunately, I've been doing a lot of more baking during the quarantine, which, I mean, it's really good, but it hasn't been probably too good for the waistline. Um, we've been trying to perfect the pizza dough
Ooh,
because sometimes the dough can get really tough.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I'm trying to perfect that. I love to make like Indian food. I love to make falafels and chicken curry, and hummus. Like I like those kind. I mean, I like all flavors. I really do. I love it all. But I do like that type of food a lot. And I don't have any like. I wish I knew someone that could tell me, "Ooh, this actually tastes authentic." To me, of course, it's gonna taste good, but I don't really know if it's that good. So we'll see.
So let's see, you mentioned cooking and music. I just finished interviewing, I probably shouldn't say this in case it's not back to back. Anyways, so I just interviewed the new music appreciation teacher for middle school. And
Oh,
so I asked her
cool.
this question too, but I know you like to play, you said, which is awesome. What do you like to listen to music wise?
Ooh. Well, it depends on who I'm with. So in the car when my kids are with me, it's usually just like little kid praise music, Sunday school music, or like just little, catchy stuff for little kids. For myself, I I like singer-songwriter stuff. Um, but sometimes it's not always like the most uplifting. If I want to be uplifted, it's like always like Hillsong or like Chris Tomlin, that kind of stuff. I like a lot of soundtracks too. If I don't know, I find like very random stuff that I like from soundtracks. So,
Are you a read a book or listen to a book kind of person?
definitely read a book. I not that I have anything against listening to a book. One time I was listening to a book when I was driving to New Mexico. That's where I first had my teaching job. And I was so enthralled in listening to this book, I drove in like 2 hours in the wrong direction because I was just, and I didn't have like a cool, this was like 10 years ago. So I didn't have like a cool navigation system. And I just remember I was like, where am I? And I believe, and ever since that snafu with the book. I have not listened to a book since, like a real novel or anything that's long, because I'm like terrified of what I could do.
That's really fun. Do you remember what book that was? Like,
No, that's what makes it even worse.
that's crazy. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so are there any books lately that you've really enjoyed?
I loved Where the Crawdads Sing. It was so good. The girl just, I mean, she was just such a lovable character. Like, you just felt for her. Um, I go through spurts with reading. So I either like I find a book and I'm done with it in like 3 days, and then it takes me forever to get back into a book. And I always think like I love to read. Why don't I do this more? So yeah, there's one night something about a tattoo. This is like on my book list, and yeah, I don't know the name of it yet. Something with the word tattoo, but anyway, that's all I got.
That's good. I totally get that. You're the second person to say Where the Crawdads Sing as well.
Have you read it?
I'm on the second chapter. So the problem is we started it, my wife and I started it, man, must have been, when did we go on our last road trip together? I don't even know. It must have been a holiday. So maybe it was a Christmas trip. Anyways, we started it together. And so
Okay.
now we have to be together, or one of us
Sure.
go on, or else, you're done at that point. 'Cause
Right.
it's audiobook, So one of us just has to commit at this point and go with it.
Yes.
It's
It will be, it is so good.
That's good. It's definitely more her genre, but everybody loves it so much that I feel like I have to at this point. So
Yeah. You'll
okay.
like it.
You inspired me. I'll start it. I'll try to say, I'll do like a screenshot of where we were at so she can back to it. Yeah, I was trying to think if there's anything else. I think those are the questions I had. Anything else about oh, I know what I was going to ask. As far as, you said you were in teaching before, and then, kind of getting back into it this last year, seeing how Chris does things. How would you describe your teaching style? And then what about Chris? What are some things you're going to steal from Chris?
Everything. If I could take her with me and just squeeze her in my pocket, I would, because she's that good. Yeah, I think for sure one of the biggest things that I want to take from her is that she really just loves her job. She loves those kids, and it shows. She doesn't have to say it. All of her actions, all of what she does, and how she pours herself into the classroom and those kids, it's just so obvious without having to even say it. And I think that really hope to model that as well, and that the kids know that they're loved and that they're safe, and that the parents know that I want what's best for those kids, and that hopefully I want the parents to know too that they can come to me and they can talk to me with anything, and that we're working together. And I want that to be really clear that, we're a team, and yeah, I want to work with them to know what works best for their kid. Yeah, I'm trying to think of my teaching style. It's interesting because, Threeschool is, it's little, they're little. And so I guess my teaching style would just be, because you're not doing a lot of like the traditional things in school. So I guess my teaching style would be just movement and fun, and like, yeah, I don't know how to classify my teaching style for Threeschool, just that it requires a lot of energy. It requires a lot of patience, a lot of, repetition. But I don't know if it like really has a style, because it's so much of it is just learning the routines and learning the procedure of how to come into the classroom. How do we sit in a circle? What does a circle look like? What does a line look like? Like all those little things that, you know, when you're in grade school, you're like, make a line. Okay, kids, go meet me at the rug. Go, and you just, you don't think about it. But, you know, when you're starting from scratch, it's different. And so, yeah, I don't even know if I would say I have a teaching style at this age. I think it was just be energetic, be approachable, and let them know they're loved and safe. I don't know. That's a terrible answer. I know.
No, I think as a parent of a current three school, I think that's a great answer, and that's exactly what I would want, you know. And I was just going to say, you know, kind of to wrap up our time, I was just going to comment. I got to spend a day in the class with you and Chris earlier this year when we were filming a day at preschool. And it was just awesome to see the way the two of you led the classroom, the way that you really supported Chris. You know, there's obviously a lot of small group time. So even though Chris is the lead in the room, there's a lot of times where you're leading the different activities. And so being able to see you do that, I'm just really excited for incoming Threeschool families to have your influence over an entire classroom. And our preschool is going to be a better place because you're there. So super excited for that. And yeah, just excited to see how families are loved by you come this fall. So thank you.
Thank you. That was really nice.